What's going on in some nation? Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday, October 10th, 2018. It's been about a month since I've hopped on and did one of these things, but in Psalms, I hope that you all have been on the grind just as much as I have, because over the past month or two, I think I've done like two or three things of these in the last 2 months. And I have, been grinding my patent out, and I got the green light for it today. So my patent's moving forward. Done with the patent search, done dealing with the prior art. So we're moving forward with the patent. So I'm super stoked. Obviously that was good news, being able to make this patent reality, especially after the prior art that I found. He hit me with prior art from LG. What? LG? We got prior art from LG. We got prior art from Honeywell. We got prior art from major corporations. So you know what that means? Money. So in Psalms, that's what's going on. I've been writing my book, hustling that out. I just finished reading my patent attorney, his book. It's a great book. I really highly recommend it. It's called Escaping the Gray When Launching Your Idea Full Throttle is the Only Option, or something like that. John Risby, look him up, read his book. It's pretty good. Dude's a special human being, that's for sure. And yeah, so I'm just here. I wanted to hop on the podcast because I got that good news today. I got the green light from my patent. And it's also my 8th year anniversary of being done with my active duty military contract. 8 years ago on 10/10/2010, October 10th, 2010, I was officially done. I was actually kind of officially done in August because of my leave I had saved up. So I was able to start community college at Tacoma Community College, go back to school. Even before I completely, technically got out of the military. So, it's been quite the ride. You look forward to that day getting out of the military, not knowing what's on the other side and how good or bad it's going to be. I mean, that's kind of, any given instance, right? You just never know how bad it's going to be. But it's worked out well for me, I have to say. Because all the cool high-speed military stuff, I could have done. There's lots of people out there that are just as higher speed, doing it, Because the military gives you very defined guidelines. You show up at this time, you do this, and you're not done until it's complete, or whatever the case may be. And there's usually not very flexible, timelines or deadlines in the military. So it's either get the shit done, or it's just get this shit done, whether it's a, quality product or not. But, it's easier in the military sense of everything is defined for you. You just go and do what you're told. You pick up heavy stuff, you move it, you shoot good, you speak the lingo good, you know your troop leading procedures and 9-line medevac and all that good stuff, and you know it, and you execute it. And it's, yeah, you know, that's just kind of the culture. And outside of that, it's not so defined and not so straightforward and not so set in a certain path. So it allows you to kind of meander your own way and go about things. And sometimes that structure is good for people. I mean, I think if anything, it's good for people early on, because everything has some structure of some sort, you know. The military is just kind of the most stringent, but yeah, so I got out 8 years ago, and I could be collecting 2 paychecks right now, but I turned down that med board to make sure that I didn't end up in Leavenworth. But what else can we talk about in Psalms? My book, I've been hustling out my book. And I just, like I mentioned before, I read my patent attorney's book. And I recommend, if anything, you know, just reading his book kind of gave me the kick in the ass I needed to continue writing my book. So now my goal is to at least finish my first draft of my book by the end of the year, which is quite a goal to do that. But, you know, the goal's flexible, especially now. You know, that was my goal this morning. I told myself I'm going to write this first draft of my book by the end of the year. But then I also told myself that's my goal, but if this patent thing works out, then obviously I have patent stuff to deal with. And then my goal becomes a little more flexible. You know, I still want to reach my goal regardless of the patent stuff. And I'm going to set out to achieve it. You just got to set little steps. And whether that's a daily step, a weekly step, a monthly step, or a yearly step, it all depends on you and your level of discipline. If you have trouble keeping weekly goals, there's no point in setting monthly goals. You need to try to set daily goals. I was actually reading a book that's supposed to be helpful with building these fundamentals of successful businessmen and whatever, and I'm reading through it, and you know, I'm probably like 30, 40 pages in, so I'm not too deep, but a lot of the stuff they've covered, it's like, I do that already. Like, I have these things. And I'm not going to say that the book won't provide any kind of additional input or insight or guidance or anything like that, but it's like, geez, this is kind of a book more geared towards somebody who needs to put a fire under their ass and needs to know about long-term, short-term, setting realistic goals and stuff like that. I'm a realist. I'm the realist. So I don't need that shit. I'll read it because I read it while I'm there waiting to pick my daughter up from school. So I'll read it. And I won't probably get out too much from it, but can't go into it with that mindset, right? I gotta go into reading that book thinking I'm gonna pull all kinds of knowledge out of this shit. You gotta visualize that attack. So, in Psalms, we're almost at the 10-minute mark. I want to keep this one short because I keep giving the dead battery signal or low battery signal. What are we at? I am at 8%, so I don't want this thing to die. And grind away, find a way in Psalms. I will hop on here soon. This whole patent deal has kept me in a haze, and man, it's just been crazy for me since starting this patent process, what it's been doing to my mind, but I'm here. I got the green light, which relieves a lot of stress because it was a lot of money that would have been gone had it not gotten the green light, but it did. Boom. and I'm gonna grind away, and I'm gonna find a way, because that's what I always do. Peace in Psalms. Get some sleep.